Hello everyone. Today I'll be sharing two effective formative assessment strategies, whiteboard check-ins and four corners. These strategies provide immediate feedback and keep students actively engaged. What is a formative assessment? Formative assessment is not about grading, it's about gathering evidence of student learning and adjusting instruction in real time. It helps teachers know where students are and where to go next. With whiteboard check-ins, every student responds to a prompt or a question on a mini whiteboard or digital board. Students hold up their answers, giving teachers instant feedback on understanding. The whiteboard check-in is a formative assessment strategy where students write their answers on small individual whiteboards and display them for the teachers to see. This method allows teachers to quickly gauge understanding, identify misconceptions, and provide immediate feedback. It keeps all students actively engaged and accountable, encourages participation from those who might be shy in verbal discussions, and is useful for checking knowledge on a variety of topics. However, it is best suited for short, quick responses rather than in-depth explanations. These examples show how versatile the strategy can be, from math equations to vocabulary practice to scientific diagrams. Whiteboard check-ins work in any subject. During my clinicals, I observed a fourth grade class using the whiteboard check-in method. The students were working on their multiplication skills. On the interactive board, a teacher would display a problem. On their whiteboards, the student would solve the problem and display their solution. The teacher displayed the response on the smartboard, and after every student had responded, if a student was unable to figure out the correct answer, the teacher would call on a student who had correctly solved the problem to work it out on the board. I love this method, especially for math. Benefits of whiteboard check-ins. This strategy ensures all students participate. Teachers can immediately identify who understands and who needs support. It's quick, it's flexible, and effective. And you can use it across many subjects, and it's very adaptable. Although helpful for short assessments, the whiteboard check-in method has a number of disadvantages. Students frequently respond in a hurry and with insufficient information, which could not accurately represent their comprehension, because markers, erasers, and the boards itself can become distractions or cause disruptions. Classroom management can also be difficult. Students that are shy or self-conscious may cover their boards or be nervous about presenting their work to their peers, which will reduce the accuracy of the check-in. Furthermore, this approach mostly records concise, superficial answers and excludes more in-depth justifications and critical thought. Lastly, real-world problems such as discolored boards or dried markers can disrupt lessons and reduce their efficiency. Now that we've seen how whiteboard check-ins work, let's explore a strategy that gets students up and moving. In the four corners, students physically move to the corner of the room that matches their response, such as multiple choice answers or opinion statements. It adds movement and discussion into assessment. The four corners strategy is an interactive formative assessment technique that encourages students to engage physically and express their viewpoints. Each of the four possible answers, such as strongly agree, disagree, and strongly disagree, to a question or a statement is given a corner of the room by the teacher. After selecting the corner that best suits their perspective answer, students talk about their choice with other students who share their same decision. This method gives the teacher instant insight into the comprehension, perspectives, and misconceptions of the student while promoting critical thinking, active involvement, and peer-to-peer discussion. Examples of four corners. These examples show how this strategy works across subjects. It also supports critical thinking and encourages students to justify their answer. Four corners can be used by teachers to assess student understanding and encourage conversation in a variety of academic areas. In order to demonstrate how they understand a character's actions, students may move to corners marked with character attributes by reading. Corners in social studies could stand for many interpretations of a historical event, allowing students to argue and defend their positions. Students could demonstrate how they solved a problem in math by going to the corners marked with multiple choice answers. Corners in science could be used for prediction or hypothesis, like agreeing or disagreeing with a statement prior to an experiment. These illustrations demonstrate how the approach encourages mobility, teamwork, and more in-depth thinking across disciplines. An example is I observed a middle school algebra class using the four corners. The students were engaged in working out the answer and then moving to the corner that had the correct answer. The teacher stated that the students loved this method. She said it would show her which students were struggling and needed help. And it also helped the students collaborate and then get moving in the classroom. Four Corners is interactive and gets students talking. It not only shows what they know, but also why they think that way. There are numerous advantages to using the Four Corners method in the classroom. By keeping students moving, it encourages active involvement and boosts their energy and concentration. Students debate their arguments with classmates in their designated corner, which promotes cooperation and communication. By asking students to adopt a stance and provide evidence for it as opposed to responding with a simple yes or no, the method encourages critical thinking. It's a flexible tool for assessment and instruction since it also gives the teacher immediate visual feedback on students' comprehension, opinions, or misconceptions. Despite being stimulated, the Four Corners approach has many shortcomings. It can be challenging to control and noisy, particularly in bigger groups. Some students who are shy or afraid of being noticed for their opinions could find it awkward to move to a corner. Instead of selecting their actual response, some students might just follow their peers, which reduces the assessment's accuracy. Time can also be a problem because group discussions and transitions can take longer than expected, which cuts into the actual amount of instructional time. In summary, both strategies help teachers monitor learning in real time while engaging all students. Formative assessments work best when it's interactive and immediate. In order to demonstrate their position on a question or issue such as agree, disagree, opinions, or multiple choice answers, students using the Four Corners technique move to various corners of the room. It allows the teacher to quickly gauge the opinions or comprehension of the students while encouraging movement, discussion, and critical thinking. Students write their responses on separate boards and display them for the teacher to see while using the whiteboard check-in method. Though it mostly works for brief, cursory responses, it offers an instant snapshot of learning and enables prompt feedback and holds all students accountable. In conclusion, both the whiteboard check-in and Four Corners strategies are effective formative assessment tools that promote active engagement, critical thinking, and immediate feedback. While each method has its challenges, when used thoughtfully, they help create a dynamic and inclusive classroom environment that supports diverse learners. I appreciate your attention. The following references provide the sources and research that informed this presentation. Thank you for your time.